Hello, students, and welcome back to Genius Plus Twins. I am Mrs. Spidel, and I am so excited you're joining me today. Today, we are diving into the powerful world of persuasive writing. Persuasive writing is all about convincing your reader to agree with your point of view. And to practice this, we are going to explore a massive question that affects every single one of us. Does Google actually make us less intelligent? But before we look at the facts and pick a side in the great Google debate, we need a roadmap. Whenever you write a persuasive essay, you need a clear structure to guide your reader. Think of it like building a rocket ship in 3 main stages. Stage 1 is the introduction. This is where you start the engine. Your introduction needs 2 very important things. First, it needs a hook, a catchy sentence or question that grabs your reader's attention right away. Second, it needs your thesis or opinion statement. This tells the reader exactly what you believe and where you stand on the topic from the very beginning. Stage 2 is the body paragraphs. This is the fuel for your rocket. The body paragraphs are the longest part of your writing. This is where you give your strongest reasons to support your opinion. But you can't just state a reason. You need to back it up with solid proof, facts, and examples to actually convince your reader that you are right. And finally, stage 3 is the conclusion. This is how you land the rocket smoothly. Your conclusion needs to summarize your main ideas so the reader doesn't forget them. Then you wrap it all up by leaving them with a powerful final thought, something that will keep them thinking long after they finish reading. Now that we have our roadmap ready, let's explore both sides of the great Google debate so you can decide what to write about.
Have you ever forgotten a simple fact, like a friend's phone number or an actor's name, and instantly pulled out your phone to look it up? We all do it. But it begs a massive question. Is Google actually making us less intelligent? Let's dive into both sides of the great Google debate. First, let's look at argument 1, the memory trap. Some experts argue that relying on search engines is making our brains lazy. Think about it as a muscle. Because we know we can just look things up later, our brains quickly delete information instead of holding on to it. This is sometimes called the Google effect. Plus, we are losing our attention spans. We rarely read full books to deeply understand big ideas anymore. Instead, we just skim bite-sized pieces of information from search results. Worst of all, we are losing our critical thinking skills. We often trust the very first search result we see without questioning whether it's actually true. If we keep letting Google hand us the answers, we might forget how to use our own brilliant minds. But wait, let's flip the script. Welcome to argument 2, the brain boost. Imagine carrying the biggest library in the entire world right in your pocket. That is exactly what Google is. Supporters of this side argue that Google actually makes us much more intelligent because it frees up our brain space. Because we no longer have to memorize boring facts and historical dates, our brains are free to focus on creative problem solving and inventing new things. It also feeds our endless curiosity. Want to know how a black hole works or why the sky is blue? You can find out in 3 seconds. In a fast-moving world, knowing how to research, compare websites, and find trustworthy sources is a super smart modern skill. Google doesn't shrink our brains, it gives them super speed. So, what is the verdict? Does Google weaken our memory and make us lazy? Or does it give our brains superhero speed and endless knowledge? Which side do you find more persuasive? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives.